So this campaign by the legacy or mainstream media against Nigel Farage personally is ramping up. It's not about reform anymore, it's about Nigel Farage and Nigel Farage alone. This is how much of a threat the guy is to them and their way of doing things. So if you really want change at the general election, I know it's a long shot, but vote reform. Labour and the Tories are two cheeks of the same arse. You've heard that term before, but it's true. And so the latest big newspaper to go after Nigel Farage is the Daily Mail. And just as a side note here, Boris Johnson has come out among everyone else to put the knife into Nigel Farage for blaming the West for starting the Ukraine war. But if you read the papers, back in 2022, The Independent, for example, the headline there says Boris Johnson blamed EU for Russia's 2014 attacks on Ukraine and was branded a Putin apologist. Several other newspapers did the same. But what the Daily Mail have done is just very insidious. They've gone above and beyond, and considering that they're lambasting Nigel Farage for so-called Russian collusion, that they themselves have colluded with the Russians to smear Nigel Farage. Weird, isn't it? And it's all to do with protecting their Conservative Party. The Daily Mail has always been a Conservative Party, and Nigel Farage has called them out on it, and rightly so, and even taking legal action. For you see, yesterday's Mail on Sunday, they claimed that Zelensky said that Farage was personally infected with Putinism, if that's a word. Of course, that was a smear. And it's what the Daily Mail did next is quite disgusting, and you will see it in the papers today. And this is how desperate they are, because what they've done is the Daily Mail contacted the Russian Foreign Ministry and goaded them into what's meant to be a quote or an alleged quote from someone in Sergei Lavrov's office calling Farage an ally. And it's weird, isn't it? Like I said earlier, the mainstream media are after Farage, twisting his words to accuse him of Russian collusion when they're doing exactly that in order to bring him down. And the fact that a British newspaper is actively collaborating with the Kremlin in order to protect the Conservative Party, I think it's a huge thing and a rather desperate measure. And I don't doubt that after Farage has finished with them legally, there will be a retraction and an apology. Because that's what Farage does. He fights and he wins. And there we go. I'm past 49. Thanks for listening. And until the next time, Roger Trout.